Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Healing Version podcast. I am your host, Deborah, and I am so glad that you are here to listen to another episode. And everybody who's here for the first time, shout out to you, boo. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for your support. I hope you come back next week too. But today we are going to talk about something that I feel is very important and probably plays a role in a lot of our lives, if not everybody's life, and that's stress. I feel like everybody has some form of stress, some level of stress, and so yeah, I'm gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about how to relieve stress, what stress looks like. And I'm going to give you guys a little example or story, if you will, about a woman named Emily and her life. And I promise her life sounds so much like mine. Like, I read Emily's story and I was like, Emily, is that you? But no, seriously, it really does. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the story time. Again, thank you for being here, and I hope you guys enjoy the show. She woke up each day before the sun had even thought about rising. She had to be up early to make breakfast for her three children, ages 8, 6, and 3, before getting them ready for school and daycare. The morning rush was always chaotic, with lost shoes, missing homework, and spilled cereal to add to her stress levels. Emily's days were a whirlwind of responsibilities. After dropping the kids off, she hurried to her first job as a receptionist at a busy dental office. Answering phones, scheduling appointments, and handling patient inquiries kept her on her toes until mid-afternoon. During her short lunch break, she would often dash to the daycare to drop off snacks or forgotten items for her youngest child. Once her shift ended, Emily had a brief window to pick up her kids from school and daycare. The car rides were filled with chatter about their days, requests for play dates, and reminders of upcoming school events. Back at home, the afternoons blurred into a rush of helping with homework, preparing dinner, and getting the kids ready for their evening activities. Evenings was a juggling act of soccer practices, dance classes, and scout meetings, with Emily shuffling her children between activities while trying to keep track of schedules and deadlines. The constant multitasking left her feeling exhausted and frazzled, but she pushed through, knowing her children relied on her to be there for them. Once the kids were finally in bed, Emily collapsed onto the couch, her mind still racing with thoughts of tomorrow's to-do list. There were bills to be paid, laundry to be folded, and work emails to answer. Despite her fatigue, the quiet moments after the kids had drifted off to sleep were often the only time she had to catch her breath and reflect on the day. As weeks turned into months, Emily struggled with the weight of her responsibilities. The pressure to excel at work, be present for her children, and manage the household took a toll on her mental and physical well-being. She often wondered if she was doing enough or if she was falling short in some way. Yet amidst the chaos and stress, Emily found moments of joy and pride in watching her children grow and thrive. Their laughter, hugs, and milestones reminded her why she worked so tirelessly each day. She leaned on her support network of friends and family for encouragement and occasional breaks, knowing that asking for help was not a sign of weakness, but a necessity for her sanity. So, like I was saying, Emily's story reminds me so much of myself and my life and just my many responsibilities that I have when it comes to my household and my children. And it's stressful. I don't complain about it because it keeps me busy, it keeps me on my toes. But what I have learned is that I have to find time to unplug and unwind. Um, that may look like a foot massage. I go to this place and they actually do they specialize in foot massages and It's so nice. It's like the lights are dim and you're laying there and they got like this really soft, like the music that this music right here. So that music they have like playing, and it's like it's so relaxing. So I do that. I'll get a pedicure. I go get my nails done every 2 weeks, but it's not like relaxing to me. Like sometimes they might eat with that drill and it might burn or some shit. Like that's just not relaxing to me. A pedicure very relaxing. You're in the massage chair. Um, Other things I do is like I might take myself like on like a lunch date or something like that. I haven't been doing that lately. I got to incorporate that back in, but those are some things that I do for like relieving stress. I also do like some deep breathing and like some meditating. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna get into that with you guys. Just some ways that I am going to start incorporating relieving stress into my world, and some ways that it could help you guys as well. So let's get into it. So, what we must understand is healing from stress involves adopting strategies to manage and reduce its impact on your mental and physical well being. So, what I like to do is go over several approaches that we can use to help heal us from stress. The first thing is you have to identify your stressors. You have to recognize and understand what triggers the stress in your life. This can be work deadlines, relationship issues, financial pressures, health concerns. Once you identify your stressors, you have to develop a coping mechanism. So that can be basically building like a toolbox of healthy coping mechanisms that work for you. This might include deep breathing exercises, mindful meditation, yoga, physical exercise, hobbies, relaxations, anything that you can do in your life when you're triggered or under stress that can alleviate those stressful situations. Then also, you have to set boundaries. And we've talked about boundaries on a previous episode. So, with setting boundaries, you have to learn to say no to additional commitments when your plate is already full. Setting boundaries with others and yourself can reduce overwhelm and prevent burnout. If you haven't heard my conversation or my episode, I should say, on boundaries, go back and listen to that. I kind of go over boundaries and just really telling people no, and just saying no to things that are it's too much for you. It will alleviate some stress for you. Another thing that we have to focus on doing is practicing time management. So that can look like breaking your tasks down into smaller, manageable steps. Prioritize your tasks based on the importance and deadlines to reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. And then also establish healthy habits. Maintain a balanced diet, prioritize your regular sleep patterns, incorporate physical activity into your routine. That can be any of those things, and taking care of your body can strengthen resilience against stress. And I would just like to really highlight sleeping, getting the proper amounts of sleep, because when you don't get the proper amount of sleep, I know for me, I be groggy and I just don't want to deal with people, and I just want you to leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Just let me be. And then also seeking support. So, talking to your friends, family members, a therapist, sometimes sharing your feelings and concerns can provide a perspective and emotional release. And you can get insight from somebody else who may have already been through what you're going through or who's currently going through it, and y'all can help each other. But just talking about it and just like releasing, because when you keep all that built up in you, it could really explode one day. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people when they snap out or they go to greater heights or, start self harming. So, yeah, seek support. Definitely go to someone who you trust, who you can talk to help you with your stress, or just to talk. So another thing you want to do is limit stressors. So identify the aspect of your life that contributes to the chronic stress and consider making changes where possible. This might involve adjusting your work responsibilities, reevaluating relationships, or seeking a healthier environment. What this says to me is protect your peace. So if you're working in an environment where your peace is disturbed in a way where you're just not happy, leave. Same for a relationship. I was in a relationship and I was not happy. I was extremely depressed. I wasn't like everything that we were doing when we first met just went out the window. We were not where we needed to be. We were not each other's helpmate. It was really bad. And I was so like down. I was just ready to like do whatever I needed to do to get out of the situation. I'm just thinking of like crazy shit to just get me out of the relationship. And I laugh at it now, but in that moment, I looked in the mirror and I said, I'm going to do what makes me happy. And being in this relationship makes me sad and I need to get out of it. So I did what I had to do to get out of that relationship, and it was peaceful after that. I was happy. We get along now. We just were not meant to be in a relationship. I feel like the maturity level was just not there for the both of us together. So, another thing you want to do is practice mindfulness so you can cultivate awareness of the present moment without judgment. And I've talked about this before, like meditating. And if you're not familiar with meditating or knowing how to meditate, there are some really great videos on YouTube. If you need some information, you can definitely reach out to me. And this is me really speaking to myself because I haven't been meditating the way that I need to. After meditation, I don't know, it's like a weight is lifted off my body. It's like taking those deep breaths and releasing just, I don't know, it does a wonder. But mindful practices can keep you stress free if you practice them successfully and you do them regularly and you you really get into it. And it can help you manage your stress by focusing your attention and reducing reactivity to stressful situations. So just taking your mind somewhere else, basically. And then something else you want to do is engage in relaxation techniques. I love massages and pedicures. So basically incorporating activities that promote relaxations. That could be listening to music, taking a warm bath, or spending time in nature. And y'all know I love me some nature. Like, man, nature is like medicine for me. I'll go hug a tree in a minute. And then lastly, you want to monitor your stress levels. You got to pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the physical signs of stress, such as your muscles, tensions, headaches. Being aware of your stress levels allow you to take the proper steps beforehand to manage and reduce your stress. So with saying all that, just know that healing from stress is an ongoing process that requires self-awareness. It requires self-care and proactive management of triggers and responses. By incorporating these strategies into your life, you can foster resilience and improve your overall well-being. So with all that being said, we just have to first identify those stressors. And I feel like we pretty much know like what's stressing us out, what we're worried about, what's bothering us. So we just have to identify those and then we just move from there. I hope that the information that I shared with you all helps someone. I hope that something I said you can incorporate into your life to relieve stress and just have less stress overall. That you're able to recognize when your body is feeling stressful. I get stress headaches. Do y'all get stress headaches? Stress headaches are like in the back of your head, I believe. Like I got like this lump in the back of my head. I don't know, but it's like right in the back, like between like my neck and like the mid section of my head. I don't know. I get these stress headaches, and that's when I know, like, oh yeah, I'm stressing. I need to sit my ass down, drink some water, take a nap. Oh, that's another thing I like to do. I like to take naps. Like I'm a napper. I love naps. I wish I was a little kid again, just so somebody can make me take a nap, and they wouldn't even have to make me. They couldn't even get the nap out. As soon as I heard it end, I'm gonna be out. But these kids, they don't care about naps. I guess that's how I was as a kid too. But yeah. All right. So as promised, I am going to give you guys a what would Miss Debo do? So I think I've only done this maybe twice. So basically, what I'm going to do is read a scenario that someone wrote in, and they basically want my advice of what I would do. So in these, I'm not telling you what to do. I might say, do this. I'm not really telling you what to do. It's kind of me talking to me and just saying like what I would do. But I might like um, put it in a way that I'm telling you what to do. I want everybody to do what's best for them when it comes to any situation in life. So, again, this is just me saying what I would do. And hey, look, if you take my advice and you run with it, look, I give pretty good advice. So, let's get into it. Hello. I'm curious if I'm overacting about what I feel is a sensitive issue I'm having with my mom. Back in 2008, I found out my mom was hooking up with one of my sister's friends. My sister and I were friends, and our friends were each other's friends, so I was cool with that guy. When I found out, I was beyond upset. Since then, I've told her several times that I find it completely unacceptable and expressed deeply how embarrassed I am about it. Basically, everyone knew besides me. Looking back, I think about times that I'm certain that she did it with other friends of hers, but can't prove any others at this time besides the one I just mentioned. She thinks that it's absolutely ridiculous that I find it unacceptable, and she keeps saying how paranoid I am. The person I found out about, she did admit to it. I'm curious on how other people would feel about their mom hooking up with her daughter's friends and thinking that there's no problem with it. Should moms not cross that line? I find it horrid behavior. But I didn't say that to her. I'm too embarrassed to mention it to anyone I know, and I'm sure she's creating a story about why I cut ties with her. She can't admit that it was wrong because she doesn't feel that it's wrong. She doesn't even apologize for the embarrassment that I have. I cut off all ties with everyone from those times of embarrassment. I don't believe in unconditional love because it can give the other person the opportunity to do whatever they want. Ooh, child. Mm, okay. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at your situation. I think laughing is a coping mechanism too for stress. Cause baby, that just stressed me out. That story, that's a lot. So here we go. I feel like in this situation, the mother is wrong. Okay. And if that was my mom, I would feel the same way. I would feel like she's wrong. And I can't see a grown woman finding anything besides a sexual um relationship. Like, how could she find that in somebody who she could have given birth to? Like, anything's besides sex. Like, are y'all really having intellectual conversations and all of that? At this point, it's molestation. I feel like, yeah, especially depending on when she started messing with him. It sounds like she started messing with him pretty early on. So, and the crazy thing is, if the tables was turned and it was your dad messing with a girl that was your sister's friend, that would not be okay. I feel like society turns its head, it has a blind eye to when our boys are getting molested. Like, y'all, I know so many men in real life that have told me, a lot of them will say it with no shame. Like, yeah, when I was 13, I slept with a 24-year-old. She took my virginity. And it's like they got some type of kudos or something. Or I've had men tell me just straight up that like they were molested by somebody when they were younger, like a stepmom or a auntie. I've heard so many horror stories where our boys aren't being protected, and I feel like it's just the norm to always look out for the girls, but we gotta protect our sons too. So I went off on a tangent of something else. Sorry. So back to the scenario. So all in all, I feel like mom is wrong in this. What I would do is I don't know if I would cut my mom off. I do understand the embarrassment. There needs to be a line of respect from her. Like she needs to respect the fact that you don't want to be around that. Not only because it's embarrassing, but like, ew, like, who wants to see that? But anyway, so I would not cut my mom off. However, I would demand a certain level of respect when it came to that situation. I'm curious how the sister feels about it because that's her friend. But yeah, I would just have a conversation with her and just, lay out those boundaries and tell her, what you expect. And yeah, so I hope this helped. And let me just go a little more deeper when I say like about cutting your mom off. Like we only get one. You don't want to cut your mom off and then something happens and you can never tell her you're sorry or mend the relationship. And I feel like I can't tell you what to do or how to feel, but for me, I would still keep the relationship, but I would just have to make sure that those lines aren't crossed in such a disrespectful manner that it embarrasses, me. So yeah, so I hope this helped. I would love to get an update in the future. You said she was wait. Let's go back. You said you believe she was sleeping with other friends. Like, how old were y'all? Were y'all in high school, middle school? Like, your mom is a potential like sexual predator. Like, no shade. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming back again this week and enjoying another episode of the Healing Version podcast. I just want y'all to know that I am so grateful for y'all. I hope that y'all have a wonderful week, a safe 4th of July, that you enjoy in your family. I pray many blessings over your life. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the new people. Remember to follow us on all social medias. That is the Healing Version on Facebook. There's also a group, the Healing Version Podcast. You can also email us at the Healing Version at Gmail with all of your entries that you want me to do on What Would Miss Debo Do. But yes, thank y'all so much. Hit us up. I'll leave all the details for contact in the comments. Hey, what did y'all think about this scenario this week? Was that not crazy? Like the mom sleeping with friends? Like, yeah, we're going to talk about that in a future episode surrounding molestation in the Black community. But yeah, y'all be easy.